Hi, my name is John Nolan, and you are watching Under the Gun TV.
All right, cool. Thanks for the time, John. I appreciate it. So let's start out in the beginning with Bridge and Tunnel. How did you first get involved in writing a song for this film?
Well, my friend Anthony Natoli got in touch with me. He was putting together a soundtrack for the movie, and he called me up and asked if I wanted to be a part of it. And I did, and we talked for a while and decided to record a song specifically for the movie, and he ended up producing it as well, and yeah, that's how I got involved.
So tell me, have you ever written a song for a film before?
No, I never have.
Is it something that you thought about, or this was just kind of like a new thing? Hey, let's try this.
No, it is actually, it's something I've wanted to do for a long time. I've always been interested in how music is used in movies, and it's something I wanted to be involved in, but I never really knew how to get involved in it. So this was kind of fortuitous that I just got a call like, hey, you want to do something that you've always wanted to do?
So tell me what the name of the song is, and tell me what the song's about.
The name of the song is Here Comes the Wolf, which honestly only has a very vague connection to the song itself, really. But the song is sort of for me, it's about you get older and you start to realize that all these big problems that you've had when you were younger, you know, or these like people who have mistreated you or done something wrong to you, you know, like that you start to realize that this stuff is not all that significant. And then also I think eventually you start to realize in the big picture of the world and the universe, you know, that you yourself are not really that significant either, you know,
right?
like, yeah, and not I mean, to me it's not in a depressing way. It's sort of in a you're just sort of realizing a little bit of your place in this gigantic thing that we're living in, you know.
So that's kind of maybe something that kind of happens as you get older and you've experienced more things, and you're a father now, right?
Yes.
So I guess you start seeing things a lot more big picture after all your experiences. I mean, you've been around the world and stuff, so.
Yeah, well, and I think for me too, just like just in general, yeah, getting older. I don't know, something for me about that is I don't know. It's like I remember being even in my early 20s, and everything that happens to you seems like life and death, you know, like everything is such a big deal, you know, and you get older and it stops being such a big deal, really, you know.
So obviously you've got the Long Island connection with this movie, and also they've got Vinny involved from I Am the Avalanche and Bayside and stuff. What would you say are your fondest memories of the Long Island music scene back when you guys were really getting going, when you were maybe fresh out of high school and really starting to say, hey, I want to make like a career out of this?
Right when Taking Back Sunday got the lineup that we have now, we put out a 5-song demo, and we just started getting like more and more shows around Long Island. And I mean, at that point it's still pretty small, you know, talking about like still like VFW halls, or like an afternoon at a bar, you know, when nothing's going on there. But we were getting a lot of those things, and we started to see our audience grow. And then not only that, like one of the things I remember is there's a place, it's actually not far from where we're at right now, and it's not there anymore, but just a little bar that would let us have shows on the weekends, I guess. But there was this one day we played, and there was just such a huge reaction from the people that were there, and like half of them were our friends.
Yeah.
But then there was the other half, we didn't know who they were, but people were singing along, and people were like really
Into it, yeah.
clearly into it, and that was a great memory for me. It was, one of my favorite. Just that moment where you start to realize, like, hey, this is meaning something to people. This is like catching on. It's
Yeah.
exciting.
Do you still get that feeling when you play shows? I mean, you played a huge festival yesterday in Long Island.
Yeah, I do. It depends on the show, and what the reaction is, but a lot of times now for me it's more like looking at a individual or maybe like a pocket of people in the audience, and you just sort of see this reaction from them, and it's that same feeling, yeah.
So do you think that growing up in Long Island, I mean, obviously everyone in the film is like a byproduct of who they grew up around and kind of all the social stigmas that revolve around where we're from. Do you think being from here definitely shaped who you are as a person?
Yeah, it definitely did. It's hard for me to explain how, but I know it definitely did shape who I am.
I feel like, I mean, you were talking about this earlier with Mike. It's definitely kind of like one of those microcosm kind of things where everyone's kind of sheltered. But I mean, at least you were fortunate enough to be one of the guys who was able to get out, and not only get out of New York, but, everywhere in the world.
Yeah, once we started going on tour, that was really eye-opening to me, just realizing that Long Island is not the world, and also that pretty much everywhere outside of Long Island is different than Long Island. You know, like you don't really realize what a unique and a strange place this is until you see the rest of the country and then the world too.
So Happiness Is came out in March, right? And then you went on a huge tour with the Used and stuff.
Yeah.
How have the past few months been? Has been pretty crazy, pretty hectic?
Well, we did a lot of touring right around the album coming out, and then we actually got to have a bit of a break the last month or two, which was really nice. But we're about to dive back into it like pretty seriously. Like August, we're doing Europe, Australia, Philippines. Then we have a U.S. tour in the fall, and then back to UK and Europe right after that. So we're getting back into it, but we had a little break.
What made you guys decide to go out for more dates with the Used again?
Well, people got really excited about that tour. It was pretty clear that it was like a good combination. Everywhere we went for that whole tour, like the shows were just great. It was a great tour. So well, why not do it again and go to the places that we didn't go to last time? Is what we figured.
Cool. Here's something. This is kind of random, but when you guys put out the record, you did like the event with Looney Tunes in Amityville, and you did like the acoustic set, and you did like the autograph signing, or whatever. And I thought it was interesting that at the record release show, you ended up playing a Straylight song. So why'd you decide to play that song that day?
Well, I don't know why we decided it in particular. There's been a few shows that I've played when it's just me and Adam, and they're usually pretty loosely structured. We don't really go into it with a big plan, and we kind of just feel it out. And when they're going well, then usually there's a point where we don't necessarily have enough songs that we feel ready to do. So I think that's been the big thing is, well, we don't have too many songs, and someone requests it, and
so that doesn't bother you if someone requests a Straylight song when you're playing like a TBS show? Because I know some artists would get kind of annoyed by that kind of thing.
It doesn't bother me. I mean, I think it's pretty gracious of Adam to not get bothered by it, and to even just let me play a song on my own. I could definitely understand how that could be an annoying thing. But no, we're pretty laid back about it at this point.
That's cool. I'm going to take this, and Mike's going to kill me because this was a conversation we were having before, but now I'm just going to ask. The original Straylight record turns 10 next year, right?
Or this year.
Is it this year? It's coming up?
I think October.
Okay.
I think.
So are there any chances that you guys might get together and play some shows revolving around that, or is that something you haven't even really thought about?
I mean, we haven't gotten any offer, or I haven't gotten any offers, and and even if we did, I really don't know how we would make it work. Because Sean and I obviously both doing Taking Back Sunday, which we'll be
gig.
very busy with. Will, the drummer, is touring with Fun, and he stays very busy. And then my sister Michelle has a baby who's about to turn 1 year old, and she also does music projects on her own Destry, and she's working on some kids music. So it's a lot of stuff that everyone's involved in separately. So I don't know how we would work out the scheduling for it. But you never know. I guess there's always a possibility. But I think it's pretty unlikely.
Cool.
Hey, once again, this is John Nolan, and thanks for watching Under the Gun TV. You've been lied to, removed from the